joining me. Whoops, Daisy, I'm just chucking everything about. I'm going to share with you today how I created this card. It features, or uses, should I say, the Brewed for You stamp set. I've also done a male version of this card, which is that one featuring the beers. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to do a female version using the glass and then wine. And I've kind of tried to interpret white wine, rosé and red wine. But I love how it turned out. So I thought I'd share with you a quick video how I made it. Right, so I have got a card base here. I'm using a polished pink card base. I'm going to put the measurements for this in the description below, but also on my blog as well. We've got an inner for the card, which is a centimetre smaller. And on the inner, I just stamped a glass with the rosé wine, and then I gave it just some little flicks of the marker. So let's go ahead and stamp the inside first. I'm using Memento ink, so stamp and then rosé wine popped inside. It's very rosé, isn't it? Very pink. This stamp set is really lovely because although there is the stamp to stamp the inside of the wine glass, you could also colour it with pencils, our stamping blends, anything you fancy. You don't necessarily have to stamp with the coordinating stamp, which is just always gives you extra mediums to colour with, and it will make the stamp look different as well from stamped to coloured. So you see me just use the marker just to ink a little bit of colour there. I'm going to pop the inner in, and that is a centimetre smaller than the card base. One needs to remember that one has done that, so we stick the card in properly. Now this is cut to the full size of the card front, slightly longer in length, so I will just trim that up at the end, but the width is the same. So if you're not in centimetres, I suggest you make your standard card base and then cut a piece of basic white to cover the front, or you could have a little border. I kind of liked how the design run to the edge and it kept it quite simple. I know there's a lot going on and it's really not simple, but I kind of like that crisp, clean, white to the edge look, and then you open it up and then you've got the pop of colour. So let's go ahead and stamp our wine glasses. Now randomly I kind of start kind of just randomly really, middle-ish, and then off I go. So it's what I don't like is they end up looking too regimented. I want them to look like they're kind of a bit random. Put that one over there and then just get a little, just sort of stamping that one off there so it's not too close to that other one. So just really just fill in the basic white there. So you can see it's quite random. You could be a little bit more regimented with if you wanted and stamp them diagonally, but I wanted it just to look random. I'm going to now go back in because I haven't cleaned the stamps. I'm going to go back in with my polished pink. There, I think that's enough of the polished pink for now. Just grab my chamois actually. Probably really shouldn't even be using it because it I haven't crafted for a while. I haven't done a lot of my chamois for the first time ever. Has gone dry, but we are experiencing a little bit of a heat wave here in the UK, so that could be why also. Right, I'm going to go in with the Parakeet Party. I'm going to give that a tiny little bit there. I love the pop of this colour against the pink. I actually think, even though it's a really, I grabbed these colours and I thought, ooh, this is like the weirdest colour combo. But it actually works. It's I'm just going to lay that in there. It really works, even though I was like, yeah, this is just like a really weird colour combo. But yeah, I quite like it. Really quite like it. So it just shows that sometimes the randomest, you know, it was literally just an experiment when I first did the card, and I thought, oh, you know, where am I going with this? But I love how it turned out. So there's all them. So I'll just tell you again. So that's Parakeet Party. That's one of the new in colours. I've used Merry Merlot, which I kind of had to use, didn't I? Merlot being a well-known red wine. And then Daffodil Delight. So really unusual colour combo. But I'm sure you'll agree, it weirdly works. Let's just pop that out of the way. Gonna now stick my card base down. I'm just gonna doubly check we are right. Yep, because that would be really, really frustrating. So popping that on. Just slide that a fraction that way. I've got a little tiny bit of pink showing out, and you can see there that this layer is slightly longer, so I'm going to just trim that up. Then the sentiment I used is from the Charming Sentiments. So all the sentiments that come in the stamp set are here. I owe you one, another round for your birthday, and oh ale yes. I didn't think they really overfitted my card for a female, so I went with wishing you everything wonderful, and that is from the Charming Sentiments, and it's a lovely stamp set. The fonts on here are, I just love them all, and it says just as a thank you, everything will be okay, beyond grateful, good luck, because you totally deserve it. That would have actually been really cool on here, because you totally deserve it, and then obviously a glass of wine. But it's what I've done is I've stamped and pre-cut this already, so stamped in Memento ink, and then I used the coordinating die, which is here, to die cut that out. Oops, I need that. Pop that in there, so I need that. And then I've used these, which are like fastly becoming my favourite, the Stylish Shapes dies for my banner. And again, I used those on this one here as well to do the square. I just love that little detail of the, I'm a sewer by trade. I make curtains and stuff, so I love anything sort of stitchy and stuff. So I'm going to cut this banner in half. Then I'm going to pop a little piece of, this is, what is this adhesive? This is Seal Plus. And I'm going to just lay that on there and then stick. And I'm going to lay that on here. Just give it so it's a bit longer than what it was originally. Just lining everything up nicely. So that is that. And it's nice and straight because I've used the grid paper to line it up. I'm going to do a couple of glue dots. So I'm going to do 3. Weirdly, I know we are all about colour coordination, but I have actually picked up this is the Sweet Sorbet new metallic ribbon. So I know it really shouldn't go, but it does. ribbon, which is what I've used behind the greeting. So I'm just tying quite a large-ish bow. That's probably, I need to move it along a bit, I think, actually, and have a little bit of I prefer to have longer tails that I can trim. Yeah, that's better. So I always leave it attached as well, just in case something doesn't go right with it. I can retie it and make it a little bit longer. Just going to use a glue dot just to secure that in place, and it kind of goes middle-ish but off a little bit, because our greeting is going to be center, and then that is just going to sit over slightly. I'm going to actually stand up just so I can make sure that I get my sentiment nice and straight. Ding, ding, ding. Something like that. So I'm now happy with that. I'm going to just trim that off. With the glue dot, it does still give you a little bit of wiggle room on that bow, should you wish to adjust. The embellishments I used are the matte decorative dots. I've used these loads just lately. Matte seems to be quite in at the moment. Also that would work really quite well is the these ones, which I've demolished as well somehow. These are the new in colour, and again they're matte, which they're really, and the parakeet would have worked really well on that, but I went to go with the black just to highlight, to pick out on my my stamped the base of the image. So there you go, there is my female version, and I'm hoping to also do a male version of the card as well video, so do check to see if I've uploaded it already. And like I say, anything that I've used today that you really like, I'll put details in the description below and also on my blog. Thank you so much for coming today. Bye bye.